Hey Cowboys Nation, it's Cowboys Fan Hub here with some breaking news and analysis on our offensive line situation. We've got a lot to unpack today, including a season-ending injury, new signings, and a potential trade. So buckle up, and let's dive into what's happening with America's team. Let's start with the unfortunate news that's rocking the Cowboys camp. First-year offensive tackle Earl Bostick Jr. has suffered a fractured leg during Wednesday's practice. This is a significant blow to our offensive line depth, especially considering Bostick was getting some first-team reps when Tyler Guyton needed rest. Head coach Mike McCarthy confirmed in Thursday's press conference that Bostick is being sent back to Dallas for surgery. It's always tough to see a young player go down, especially one who was showing promise and getting opportunities with the first team. For those who might not be familiar with Bostick, he was an undrafted free agent out of Kansas. The Cowboys saw potential in him, and he was making strides in camp. This injury is not just a setback for the team, but a personal blow for a player trying to establish himself in the league. Now, here's where things get interesting. Bostick's injury occurred just an hour after the team signed Cole Cabral for depth. This signing came in response to another injury, Chuma Edoga's. It's like the old saying goes, when it rains, it pours, and right now, it's pouring on the Cowboys' offensive line. This rapid sequence of events highlights the volatility of NFL training camps and the importance of depth. One minute you're signing a player for insurance, the next minute you're desperately needing that insurance policy. It's a stark reminder of how quickly things can change in this league. The Cowboys will likely place Bostick on season-ending injured reserve. This is a tough break for the young player, but it does open up a roster spot. And that's where things get really intriguing. According to reports, the Cowboys are looking to use this newly opened roster spot to add Jordan Phillips in a trade with the New York Giants. Now, this is a big deal for a couple of reasons. First, it's relatively rare to see trades between division rivals, especially ones as historically competitive as the Cowboys and Giants. Second, Phillips is a veteran defensive tackle who could provide immediate help to our defensive line rotation. For those who aren't familiar with Phillips, he's a 30-year-old veteran who's been in the league since 2015. He's had stints with the Dolphins, Bills, Cardinals, and most recently, the Giants. His best season came in 2019 with Buffalo, where he racked up 9.5 sacks, an impressive number for an interior defensive lineman. If this trade goes through, it could be a classic case of turning lemons into lemonade. We lose depth on the offensive line but potentially gain a solid contributor on the defensive front. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture of our offensive line situation. We've got our stalwarts in Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, but beyond that, there are question marks. Tyler Smith is still developing, and now we've got injuries to Bostick and Edoga. The signing of Cabral helps, but he's largely unproven at the NFL level. This situation puts a lot of pressure on our coaching staff, particularly offensive line coach Mike Solari, to get the most out of what we have. It also raises questions about our depth. Are we one more injury away from serious trouble? Will we need to look at the free agent market for more help? These are questions that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and the rest of the front office will need to address. Now, let's talk about how this could affect our offense as a whole. We all know that everything starts up front. If we can't protect Dak Prescott or open holes for Tony Pollard, our entire offensive game plan falls apart. This is where the loss of Bostick hurts. While he wasn't projected to be a starter, having quality depth is crucial over the course of a long NFL season. It allows you to rotate players, keeping them fresh, and it provides insurance against injuries to starters. The pressure will now increase on players like Tyler Guyton to step up. Guyton, our fourth-round pick from Oklahoma, has shown flashes in camp. He'll likely see increased reps now, which could accelerate his development, a potential silver lining in this situation. If the Jordan Phillips trade goes through, let's consider how that might impact our defensive line. Phillips isn't a superstar, but he's a solid rotational player who can provide both run-stopping ability and some interior pass rush. Pairing him with players like Osa Odigizua and Neville Gallimore could give us a formidable interior defensive line rotation. This could be particularly important given the run-heavy offenses we'll face in our division, like the Eagles and Giants. Moreover, a stronger interior presence could free up our edge rushers like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence to be even more effective. So while we're dealing with adversity on the offensive line, we might be strengthening another crucial area of our team. This situation presents a significant challenge for our coaching staff. Mike McCarthy and his team will need to be creative in how they manage the offensive line rotation. They might need to adjust their protection schemes or rely more on quick passing game concepts to mitigate any weaknesses up front. On the flip side, if we do acquire Phillips, defensive coordinator Dan Quinn will have another chess piece to work with. Quinn has shown a knack for maximizing the talents of his defensive players, so it'll be interesting to see how he might utilize Phillips in our scheme. As we approach the regular season, these developments add an extra layer of intrigue to our remaining preseason games. Keep a close eye on how our offensive line performs, particularly in pass protection. Also, watch for any adjustments in our offensive strategy. We might see more two tight end sets or keeping running backs in to block more often. If the Phillips trade goes through, his integration into our defensive system will be another key storyline to follow. How quickly can he pick up our schemes? How will he be rotated with our other defensive linemen? These preseason games, which some fans might be tempted to overlook, have suddenly become much more significant. They'll be crucial for working out our new rotations and strategies in light of these roster changes. To wrap things up, while the loss of Earl Bostick Jr. is certainly a blow, it's important to remember that adversity often breeds opportunity in the NFL. This could be a chance for other young players to step up, for our coaching staff to showcase their adaptability, and for our front office to demonstrate their ability to pivot and address needs on the fly. As fans, our role is to support our team through these challenges. Remember, every NFL team deals with injuries and setbacks. It's how they respond that separates the contenders from the pretenders. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think about these developments? Are you concerned about our offensive line depth? Excited about the potential addition of Jordan Phillips? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all things Cowboys. This is Cowboys Fan Hub, signing off. How about them Cowboys?